how the background is, but we'll just get going.
I mean, just keep it real. You have a Lilo and Stitch pillow behind you. What's that about?
It's my sister's. I'm in my sister's bedroom right now. I'm just chilling in her bed.
How old is your sister?
She is 21. She just had her 21st birthday.
Okay. Do you love Lilo and Stitch too? Is that your favorite movie?
It might be my favorite movie on Disney Plus. That's an actual Disney movie.
Okay, cool. Well, what is up, everybody? Welcome back. We're here with Bergie. We're just shooting the shit, getting into it. Super disappointed to see you get eliminated from the Traitors. What was the reaction from the fans?
You know, obviously, I've seen on everybody's Instagram, anytime someone gets murdered or banished, it's like, now I don't have to watch the show anymore. So I definitely got comments saying I'm done watching the show. But how can you be done? I'm like, I'm still so tuned into it. I'm like, now I get to watch it for the first time with everybody else. So I'm like super excited to see what happens every episode and how things came to be. Because I kind of already know what happens, but I want to know how things led to those events.
Yeah, you might have heard what happened, but like you need to see the full story play out on the TV. And there's only like 2 episodes left, so I don't know what's gonna happen. What has shocked you the most from watching it since you've been gone that's aired?
The biggest thing, I think Sandra made the biggest mistake being buddied up with Phaedra. I know she wanted to get the Peter pals out really bad because she was like, we need to get this alliance out. We need to work together to get this alliance out. But her working with Phaedra, if people ever find out Phaedra's a traitor, that just puts a huge target on her. With the whole crossbow challenge, that was a big shock to me. That was like a major no. But like I don't know if she knew, but she's been saying she knew Phaedra was a traitor at this point in time. So like that should just be a major no to do.
Sandra was going with the housewives, like it was Real Housewives of Survivor energy from Sandra. I think she wanted to go with the numbers, and she saw that the Housewives Alliance, the Bravo Alliance, was so much more tight knit, where the Peter pals were all over the place and getting picked off one by one. So,
Yeah,
I mean, I get why she did it.
I get why she did it, but it's just like if they get everybody else out for the Traitors, and then it's just like, who else should we get out? Like, who else is working with those people? It's gonna look really bad if it ever comes down to that.
Yeah. Are you salty or bitter or mad at all that you got eliminated?
I'm bitter at the twist. I'm not mad at anybody. Like, I think it was a decent move by the Traitors. Obviously, like I wish they killed somebody else, but I'm not butthurt about it. But I'm kind of butthurt about the twist because let's say we got the numbers, we voted out Parvati that night. For whatever reason, we got the Peter Alliance, got someone else to vote out Parvati. Like, we flipped the vote. It would just be Phaedra left. And I don't think Phaedra on her own would go and kill me, if that makes sense. And if Peter got banished, I don't think I would have been murdered.
Yeah. The twist I felt like was a way to protect Phaedra and Parvati. Like, it almost felt like it was just a way to protect the traitors, salvage them for as long as possible. So there wasn't a lot of options. But of course, they wanted to pick you because everyone knew you were a faithful. So it's just kind of like, get rid of someone who's so obvious. Like, I'm surprised they haven't gone after John either, because he's just like, everyone knows he's a faithful. Get rid of him.
Like, I don't understand. Like, last year, I think Sari did a really good job of like, let's pin this murder on this person. Like, there was discussions. Same thing with Wilf from UK. Like, he did a great job of pinning murders on somebody else. And this year, it's like, this person's after me, let's murder them before they vote me out. And I think that's just a bad strategy.
Have you seen UK, Australia, all the other seasons?
Not Australia. I've seen UK season 1 and US season 1.
What happened on UK? Spoiler alert. Can you like tell us the ending? Like, I'm curious, just like the scenario.
So there's this traitor Wilf that was like an OG traitor, and he made it all the way to the final episode, and he churned on his traitors at the right time. So everybody thought he was a faithful because he would turn on the traitors before like other people would turn on the traitors. He would throw them under the bus. So he was doing a great job at that. And then, you know, there's one traitor left for the finale, and they wanted to make sure, or like 2 episodes left, and they wanted to make sure there was enough traitors to finish out the season. So they made him recruit. And then that traitor turned on him, was like, well, I know you're a traitor. And then because he was a traitor. So everybody's like, we have to vote out Wilf. I think Wilf would have won his season if he didn't have to recruit. And that person
that. I love the ending of shows because it gets so intense and the decisions like get really intense. And the buildup is so crazy. So I can't wait to see what happens. And like Phaedra and Peter, right? The episode ended with MJ, her vote. You probably know. But like, what do you think is going through MJ's mind as she is writing this down and her weighing her decision?
Honestly, knowing MJ, I'm sure she wanted to get a traitor out. She's not doing it for friendship. She's not doing it for anything other than that. So knowing MJ and knowing what she would pick, she would be wanting to get a traitor out full force. Like that was her game. She was a faithful player. I know MJ, and I think that was her goal. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going to save this person because, or I'm not going to save this person. You know, it's I want to get a traitor out, and I think that was MJ's strategy.
How much of the show do you think, like percentage wise, is working with people who you already know and from your network versus like just the people you met in the house?
I think there was a lot of working in the same network, same shows. Like I think Sandra and Parvati, they really didn't go at each other this year. Dan and Janelle really didn't go at each other until
they did.
Until they did, because Janelle was on the way out. She's like, I might as well just throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
She was trying to save herself. You know, like when you're drowning, you're gonna grab somebody and hope they can keep you afloat. And I think that's what Janelle did with Dan, and that's what Dan did with Phaedra. Like he was drowning and he was trying to grab onto something, and there was nothing to grab onto.
Do you think Dan ruined Phaedra's game or planted seeds?
Planted the biggest seed. It was like, what's the guy's name? Johnny and the Beanstalk? Or
Johnny Bananas?
No, the Beanstalk guy. Like
Jack and the Beanstalk?
Jack and the Beanstalk. Like that's the seed.
Oh, okay. That's funny. That's funny. Good analogy. Good simile.
Yeah, like it was a big seed. It wasn't like a small little seed. He like fully ended Phaedra's game right there.
Yeah. Did you and Ekansu have an alliance since you're both from Love Island?
I think she would have been the Peter Pals if the Peter Pals were formed a little earlier. Like, you know, it took us a while to like begin to trust each other. And Ekansu definitely would have been in the Peter Pals if she lasted longer. And I think maybe Johnny Bananas too. Like, I'd like to think Johnny Bananas would be in the Peter Pals as well. I think it would be interesting. I wish I could play this game again and like play with Johnny Bananas. I want to see what he does.
So you were in the Peter Pals, a really funny alliance name. Did you ever feel like you were a minion to Peter, like, or was he just the leader?
No, and the thing is, like, I feel like I was the one that convinced him that Parvati was a traitor, but I really didn't get credit for it because he was going after MJ, if you remember, like episode 4, and I was like, it's not MJ, it is Parvati. Think about it. I bet production put a traitor in a coffin because if you're a viewer at home, you want to see a traitor like have to fake like being a faithful, like, oh no, I'm gonna get murdered. I'm going in this coffin. Like I was just thinking, like, I'm at home right now. I'm watching this TV show happen, and I'm like, think about it. Like we're both sussing Dan right now. It's got to be Parvati. So like, I feel like they didn't show our conversation of me convincing Peter it was Parvati, and like I kind of knew Dan going in. Like I knew like his whole big brother funeral. I knew about Dan, so I was like, if I was somebody, I'd pick Dan as a traitor as well. So like on my radar before he even got picked, I was just watching it. And I was like, this dude's not even talking to anybody. Let's do this traitor.
Out of all the traitors, who do you think is the best actor between Phaedra, Parvati, Dan, and Kate?
See, I wasn't there to see Kate as a traitor, so
okay, not Kate then. Just from like watching the show, like who do you think is doing the best?
Phaedra was doing by far the best, but she was also not participating as a traitor. She just played a faithful. Like she let Parvati and Dan do all the murders besides Tamara. She's like
she murdered a housewife.
She murdered a housewife, and that's all she really did so far in this game before Parvati and Dan left. Like she didn't really play as a traitor, and like that's the best way to play this game is like don't play as a traitor. Phaedra did amazing, but like also she didn't do anything strategically as a traitor.
Yeah, it's still to be seen what's going to happen, but there's no denying how fabulous she is and how iconic she is. The fans love her. I love what she just said to Peter, like, this is not The Bachelor, and I do not have to kiss your ass for a rose. She also said, Lord, not Ekansu. She came for Dan. I do too much because you do too little. To John, this is not Parliament. Do you have a favorite Phaedra quote?
Oh my gosh. I do too much because you do too little. I've just put Dan right in his place. Like he can't matter. And it was like, that just shifted. Like, oh, everybody just jumped on Dan immediately after that. It was like, oh my gosh. That was probably my favorite line because I was there for that one. I felt that one. I was like, oh my gosh, she does too much because you do too little.
Is it safe to say that the reunion is going to be iconic?
I am so ready for the reunion. You have no idea. I don't know if anybody's going to really come at me. I'm like a really friendly person, and I don't really have any beef with anybody besides the little twist they did. I think I just need to bring a bag of popcorn and watch it all go down. I'm just excited to see what everybody brings to the table. I might defend some people depending on gameplay decisions and what happens. Like I'll probably defend the Peter Pals. I know we get a little hate because we were outing the traitors and just coming out full force and closing the doors on people, but we were just trying to keep our information contained between us, and we didn't want other people to know our plan. Because if Phaedra gets wind that we're coming after her.
Yeah, that's fair. Who do you think is going to be best dressed at the reunion besides yourself?
Peppermint.
Oh.
Got to bring a fabulous outfit because remember, like the whole thing started with Trishelle He's gonna outdress Rochelle.
Do you think everyone's gonna be there? Like even the people who got eliminated early, like Larsa, Marcus, and Maxim?
I actually don't know. I hope they'll all be there because the thing for me too, because I never really got to meet Peppermint. Like, there's so many people, like cool people. Like, I never got to sit down and have an actual conversation with them. It was like they left before I even had a conversation with them, like 1-on-1 or 3-on-1. You know, like I never really got to meet them.
Season 3 was announced. It was renewed. Is there anyone on reality TV that you definitely want to see be there?
Definitely. I try to get my Love Island people out there because most Love Island people, they do one show and they never get back on. So I like to see Cassie, Imani, and then obviously my girlfriend Taylor, and then get some people from Summer House and Winter House on there too, because like Kyle was on it, so I'd like to see Lindsay Hubbard for sure. My girlfriend's the biggest Summer House fan, so that would be like just my dream for her to like be on a show with one of her idols, so like that'd just be cool for me to watch from home.
Yeah. I just watched Summer House 2 last week. It just started on Bravo. Lindsay would be really good. There's so many good people, so I think the show could just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah, and I think you could just do themes. You could do a Summer House theme of Traitors. People would tune in. Like, let's watch the Summer House people do Traitors. Let's watch the Love Island people do Traitors.
Oh, like even like a whole Housewives themes. Just get all Housewives.
Get the Housewives, and you could just do Traitor themes, and it'd be so entertaining. It'd be so fun to watch.
And like a Blood vs. Water would be good too, like mother, daughter, brothers, all that. Wow. Well, I'm super sad that you got eliminated. We miss you on the show, Bergielocious. What is like a little tease that you think will keep fans intrigued to watch the finale?
Okay, so I have seen 2 other seasons of the Traitors. This finale, I don't think this has ever happened on another Traitor season. So it's going to be wild.
Wow, that's so crazy because Joey, the Bachelor, is saying the same thing about his ending and his finale.
I'm excited because Daisy's from Minnesota. I'm from Minnesota. So I'm like, I love the Minnesota representation right now on
The Bachelor.
Yeah, and The Bachelor. Yeah, it's just awesome to see some Minnesota people getting.
Yeah. Are you Team Peter or Team Phaedra in their fight?
I gotta be Team Peter. Gosh, it's so hard because I also love Phaedra. Why are you?
I love Phaedra too. I'm Team Peter too. I think.
Yeah, it's just. I think so. My thing is, I think Peter and John and Rochelle, they brought a lot of evidence to the table, and same with CT. They brought a lot of like game evidence, and I feel like Phaedra got personal evidence. Like it's a Bachelor. I don't have to kiss your ass for the rose. She told John in Parliament, but it wasn't like evidence to defend herself in the game. If that makes sense.
It was just good clapbacks and good entertainment and energy.
Yes, it was great entertainment. I loved it. I also loved how they gave John like a solid 3-minute speech to the round table. I'm like, I'm back. I'm sitting right back there because they have cut so much from John this season, and it's just so fun seeing him get his like 3 minutes of fame right there.
I mean, it's interesting hearing that the roundtables are an hour and a half, but like only like 12 minutes of them are shown. And every episode, I'm like, we need more roundtable content because that's when the shit goes down. Like enough of the challenges.
Personally, I think they could easily double this season. You find out who's murdered. You have the breakfast, and then you have the challenge. One's episode. The next episode is the whole unedited roundtable, and then the Traitors meeting after the roundtable. 2 episodes a week. So do like a Wednesday, Friday.
You're coming from a Love Island background where they have 2,000 million episodes. So you're not wrong. I think a Big Brother, a lot of people really like the live streams and stuff. So if you're going to binge it and put it on, I think the more episodes, the better. Put 28 episodes. Who cares?
Yeah, I personally think you can do 2 episodes out of a day. You can end every episode or begin every episode with an elimination. I'm trying to think how you do this. Like every episode has an elimination in it. Like this year, people are complaining like there was no elimination. That was a boring episode. Have every episode have an elimination in it.
Yeah, definitely. I get so mad when there's no elimination at the end of the episode because it's just like the cliffhanger. But you know what? There's a new episode tonight. So I can't wait to see what happens. Good luck at the reunion. I cannot wait to see it. And thank you so much for chatting.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I definitely appreciate it. I love getting my stuff out there and just people getting to know Bergie a little bit more.
Yeah, love it. Love some Bergielocious content. So appreciate it.
No problem, Zachary.